Hey, buddy, how you doing?
I am doing good, Trevor. How are you doing?
Good. Just relaxing at home. We've been home for a couple months here. Just waiting for some action.
Man, action is just 3 days away, huh?
Yeah, pretty much, man. I'm really excited to get it out and see what happens with that first week, man. I've just been counting down the days.
Yeah, that generally does happen when the album is written and done like maybe 5 months ago or 6 months ago, and then the record company has to decide when to release, and that waiting period is something which sucks, isn't it?
Yeah, it's excruciating. Honestly, with this one, I think they took even longer to set it up than normal. So, I
Hmm.
mean, we've been waiting forever, and I don't know. I'm excited right now. We just started to stream the full album, and now people can
Right.
hear it. And they seem to be liking it, and they seem to have liked the preview songs. And I don't know, man. There seems to be a lot of people excited about the band right now, and that's the most I could ask for, man. It's great.
Absolutely. In fact, I was about to ask like that. The stream is out already. Fans are having a taste of the new music. So, obviously, over the period of last 24 hours, you would have done some research online to see what sort of response are you guys getting for the new material. So, what has been some of the best so far from your fans?
They just seem to like it unanimously, man. I've barely seen anybody say anything negative about it, and this, I don't know, man. They just seem to really, really like it. They seem to like the song "The Fog" a lot,
Hmm.
and the last song, "That Cannot Die, Which Eternally Is Dead."
Right.
And yeah, I'm just excited to see people, hearing the rest of the album. And we've just been listening for clues in the last few weeks, and now today,
Right.
man, just everywhere I click, man. So yeah, I'm definitely combing around and just trying to see what people are saying. And yeah, man, all signs are pointing to success right now. So I'm pretty happy.
Absolutely. Now, Abysmal, for me, I've been listening to this album from past almost 2 months. I got the promo somewhere in like late July, and since then it's been a great, great time. Definitely the brightest, or let me put it like brimming with the raw energy that kind of took me back to the early days of Unhallowed and even Miasma. So for you guys, with Ever Black being the darkest album till date, when I look at your discography, Abysmal is something beyond that. So was that something you guys planned in advance to not you know take it forward to a direction which Ever Black already did, rather take something different?
There really wasn't much discussion about anything going into it, and we don't really, plan any of the albums out beforehand. It's all
Hmm.
just how the songs come out, and they're usually just the next bunch of songs down in the pipes. So, but every 2 years, I think that Brian and Ryan, they just get a lot better as songwriters, and they absorb a lot of information in 2 years of playing shows all over the world. And
Hmm.
a lot happens in our schedule in 2 years. So I mean, they seem to. I don't know, man. I get excited every time we go to write to see what those two can come up with. And this time it just, I don't know, just right out of the box, it just seemed really exciting. And I don't know, it just, I got a special feeling right from the inception of doing this.
That's great.
But there was no conscious decision to do anything different or stray from what we've been doing at all. It's just how it worked out, man.
Hmm. That's really great because you guys have found your own brand of extremely amazing melodic death metal sound. The riffs, the solos, everything seems to, always be balanced and have a great sort of uniqueness sound, and basically like a stamp when we talk about the Black Dahlia Murder sound. So for you guys, when you went to the studio, and obviously you said that you don't plan something in advance, but there's something where you guys think about like, okay, the previous album is done. What do we do next? What sort of direction do we take? What do we experiment, or do we continue doing what we are already good at? So these are the things which obviously every musician thinks about when they're working on this stuff. So what was the band thinking the moment the album was still in its initial period?
I mean, we're always thinking about that perfect balance of what is going to make the fans excited.
Hmm.
We try to keep to the same initial mission statement that we set out with Unhallowed.
Right.
combining black, death, and thrash. And we never said it was original or anything. It's just a melting pot of what we like. You know
True.
what I mean? And I think that as we get older and become better players, I think we're able to explore more of those three genres. And as the guys have become more technical and better songwriters, and so it's just a constant evolution. I think just I still see the band growing even beyond this. But like I
Right.
said, we keep our sound in mind, and we want to be a band that's dependable, and like Cannibal Corpse, for instance.
Right.
You ultimately know what you're going to get when you buy a Cannibal Corpse record, and that Cannibal Corpse is never going to sell out or make a left turn on you or anything like that. And I mean, that's
Right.
the kind of band we want to be, a dependable,
Dependable.
Yes.
Yeah, that's definitely because I mean, even when I listen to the songs, it's not necessarily that the tracks are long or short, but they feel compact, they feel direct, and they feel more briefer. And obviously for BDM fans who obviously are well aware of how you guys sound. So was it more like redesigning the wheel when I talk about the music?
Yeah, kind of. It's taking what we already know and putting a spin on it that's hopefully exciting. And
Hmm.
it's definitely got some selfishness in there as well. We put new techniques and new technical stuff just to kind of satisfy our hunger
Right.
to play more. So I mean, there is growth definitely, and we're trying to do different things within that sound that we've created. So it's a give and take.
Yeah, definitely. Now, we spoke about the guitars. Now, what about your vocals? I mean, there's always a stamp which you put on your voice whenever, the BDM comes up with a new album. I mean, your poetic vocals, your signature tone is like, a landmark voice. When I talk about, how you guys make so many sounds. So, what was your thought process on this album, especially because, you're like the main guy who writes stuff, who goes behind the mic and creates havoc. So what was your thought process while writing stuff for this album?
I just felt really challenged by how good the music was. I felt like I had to really deliver the goods and honor what my friends had written.
Hmm.
And, I'm just trying to keep up, man, basically. But I mean, in the last few years, I've been trying to make my vocals more clear so you can understand them easier. I just think it's more powerful when the lyrics can come across to the listener and he can absorb what you're saying.
Hmm.
And I've also tried to slow down and not cram in so many lyrics as I used to, so it's just easier to understand, and I think it's catchier. I mean, obviously there's exceptions, like Threat Level Number 3 has some pretty fast rapping in it,
Right.
with the lyrics. But overall, I mean, I've been trying to just maximize what I do, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And we used a really awesome preamp to record the vocals, and it really did me a lot of justice, I think. It made it sound not so thin, and I just really like how the sound came out. And
Fantastic.
I mean, the overall approach of the record, like you said, is a lot more raw, and that was something that we did know when we were coming into it, was
Okay.
that we wanted to steer away from the overproduced sound, that just so many bands have been kind of locked into in
Right.
the last 10 years of, death metal. And I think it's kind of come from the ease of Pro Tools, just it makes the recording of the drums and stuff just a lot
More
easier if you're
easier.
going to
Hmm.
sound replace things. Yeah, and I think just everybody got used to like cutting the corners that Pro Tools would allow you to cut, and
Right.
the result was too many albums that sounded the same, I thought, where you would hear the same exact drum sound on, 10 different albums that came out,
Hmm.
same guitar sound, and just everything was too perfect sounding. And, so every band ended up sounding the same, just like a bunch of robots playing tech
Right.
death. So,
Right.
for us, we just thought, well, I know all these guys can play, so why don't we just, hammer it out the old way, and it took a little bit longer to do the drums and stuff, knowing that, we had to get perfect takes and we wouldn't be able to like cheat and fix them up or anything
Right.
like that.
Hmm.
So, I mean, it was just like taking it back to recording an album, before the 2000s, just
Right.
like
It's more
every
like an old school way of doing it.
right. And and it just totally captured the essence of the
The
band, I
essence of the
think,
band.
the
Right.
energy.
Hmm.
And like you said, it's the most exciting sounding recording we've had since Unhallowed, and that's why, because Unhallowed was done without a click and was just live basically. So yeah, I think this is really the X factor that we've been missing for a long time, and I imagine that we're gonna stay this course now. And it's just, I don't know, man. For us, it was like going backwards was going forwards, and just
Right.
showing we can show the personality of the band. And I just think that, I don't know, it's a more emotive album because of it. I think it just
Right.
gets more across. So yeah, I'm really happy with how it came out, and people just seem to really like the decision on that note.
Absolutely, because your lyrics, when I read, when I read through them, and they continue to be exceptional. The evocative feeling one gets. I mean, it kind of reminds me of the Death Mask Divine, raise up the traitors, higher, higher, in order by rank and spark the funeral pyre. So, not only are your lyrics poetic, like I said earlier, but the way you plan them, the way they are put on the sound of the band, it's very important, the placement of the lyrics, and you are damn good at that. So expressing it for the fans to just try to understand what's happening with that is very important for you. So how successful do you feel were you in trying to express what was there in your mind and heart while writing these lyrics?
I mean, you pretty much nailed it. What I'm attempting to do with every song, like I really pay attention to the dynamics of the song and
Hmm.
listen to it, and I try to make the story. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries, tell me.
I'm trying to make the story that I'm telling in each song just really follow those ups and downs, so that each moment has the perfect emotion for the sound of each part. And I don't know, I just think that's important, and the end result, I think, is really powerful if it's done right. You know what I mean? Like if you can connect on those lyrics and they're just in the right moments, and with the right riffs where it just like gets you right in the heart.
True.
That's the idea.
Absolutely. Now, obviously with Ever Black, I came across a lot of fans, kind of felt that there were certain flaws on that. But when I talk about Abysmal, I mean, I do see that when it comes to the output quality of the sound, the spectrum of the Black Dahlia Murder, Abysmal more or less, explores it and corrects them. So, do you guys think about, okay, fans say that there's some issue here and there. Do you think about correcting them, or is something which probably you don't care about, and then focus on your vision on the album?
We mostly just listen to the positive stuff. You know what I mean? We just kind of focus on what the positive is and see what they like, and we'll kind of keep that in mind. But I mean, ultimately, I mean, it's just fun for us to write this music. We enjoy what we do a lot. I love all the stuff that we've put together, and there's just an immense amount of passion there for what we do. And I think that, I don't know, as the band gets bigger and we're afforded more opportunities, I think that we just get more excited. We're more thankful, and just, I don't know, man, we can't quit now. Even though my dreams have already come true, I have to see this through. I have to see how, where we can take this thing, man. That's
Right.
just how I feel about it. Like I feel like I can't say no. Brian and I have this unwritten thing where we're just going to be on tour as much as possible,
Hmm.
and that there's nothing that's going to get in the way of the band. Basically, is that the band has to be the priority,
Right.
and that's just the way we've been doing this for so long, just tunnel vision on everything. So,
I
I don't know, man. It's just awesome, man. It's really cool to have so much excitement about us, at this point, and we've been out for a long time now. It
True.
started out like we were advertised as a young band. Like,
Right.
oh, these guys are so young, they're playing so fast, and look at, they're just kids. But I mean, now we've kind of seen the coming and going of generations.
Right.
At least a couple. And when I go out to our shows, I see, so many young kids, and I see myself at 15 in the crowd, like almost every day.
Yeah.
I just see like a nerdy, quiet, introverted kid with a weird haircut and wire glasses, and that was me, just total nerd, man. And this band is like giving me my second wind, like
Right.
I've found my place in the universe because of music and because of all this. So I'm just the happiest person possible, basically.
That's great, man. So more like a throwback kind of a vibe. Whenever you see you're on stage, you see the person there in the in the crowd, and then you relate to it. That once upon a time I was there thinking about something like this, and here am I living a dream.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I never saw this coming. I mean, I was going to play in bands just out of necessity. It just was fun to do and a great positive outlet, for aggression and creativity and stuff. So, I mean, even if I was in a whole different, kind of life or whatever, working a straight job, I would still be playing in a band, So it's just what I like to do. I just love music, and I can't believe that it's become my career, and, it's just amazing. So I just try to take everything in stride and, be positive. And I don't know, just right now, this is just a great moment in our history, man. I think that things are about to get exciting. So
I
pretty
totally
happy.
get that because Indie Merch Tour is coming up in 15 days. So almost, your next 3 months are totally blocked. Let's say that part one and a part two with Iron Reagan, then Goat Horror is also there. So, this is basically covering states. So, obviously you'd be touring, next year as well. So is there anything planned for Europe?
Yeah, we have Europe in the pipes. It's going to be announced in a few days, actually.
Okay.
It will be mid to late January. We'll be over there doing like a full-scale venue tour. And we have an awesome band with us, but I can't really announce it until that gets out there. But soon enough, it'll be on the internet and everything. But yeah, man, it's a really killer lineup, a good set of dates, going all over the mainland, going to the UK. And
Nice.
that's pretty much as far as we're booked right now, but I know there will be more. I mean, it's just inevitable that we'll be gone. I mean, as soon as the record drops, it's prime time to go out and do stuff. So, yeah, right now it's just the calm before the storm, man. Just waiting, gearing up.
Right, absolutely. Now with Metal Blade, I mean, what I like about them is I mean, every album that came out from last 2 to 3 months have been phenomenal. I mean, be it the you guys releasing, there was a thrash album came out with Battle Cross, and some one more album came out with Reverse of Nihil. So each and every album is leaving a stamp, and it must be getting very difficult for them to plan out to basically avoid getting such a chaotic response from fans, because each week when an album comes out from their roster, it's amazing. So fan sales have increased as well. So I really hope that with Abysmal, you guys, get much more than what has happened in the past for you. So, all the best for that, brother.
Oh, thanks, dude. I'm praying on that, man. And yeah, Metal Blade has definitely hit a good stride lately, dude. Battlecross and just tons of great stuff coming out right now. You're right. BT Bam is doing very, very well.
Insane.
And yeah, so yeah, I hope that that's correct. I hope to see some kind of increase in things, and just anticipating the best, man. But I don't know, man. I just never expected so much excitement about a new record from us. We've been around for a long time now and stuff, and I don't know, man. It's just cool to see everybody still on board,
All right, I totally get that. Now, I never, imagined that you guys would have even thought for a moment that how your fan base is here in India.
Yeah, we've talked about coming out there eventually, man. It's one of those places that we still want to conquer. And at every album, it kind of sees us getting new opportunities to get out to new places and stuff. So hopefully within this album cycle, we could come out to India. That would be freaking awesome.
That would really be great, especially because the fans here, although I mean they're not in like how you guys have a following in States and Europe, but still it's exploring. people are getting to, listen to the album and buy them, because there's no record store here. So whatever we do is probably get it by Amazon or maybe iTunes and stuff. So we don't get the physicals and LPs here. So we have to basically pre-order or do something outside the scope. So if you guys come here with your merch and your original CDs, I'm damn sure, you're going to go back home empty hands.
That would be cool, man. I'm sorry to hear about that, dude. It makes me want to get out there even more, man, to see the kind of struggles that you Indian fans have to go through to get music and shit, so.
Totally get that. Now, Trevor, before we conclude, now the new album, Abysmal, you're waiting for it, 3 more days left. So if I had to ask you to define it, the sound of this album in a sentence, what would you say?
I would say it's fast, venomous, melodic death metal. And yeah, that's about it. I guess a short sentence.
That's about it, yeah. Fantastic. Folks, the new album, Abysmal, 3 days, coming out via Metal Blade. Pre-order it and catch them live on the tour, which is happening in the next 2 months. Trevor, thank you very much for spending some time, brother. It's been an honor.
Oh, thanks, dude. It was really fun, man. Thanks for the great interview.
Cheers. You have a wonderful day ahead, huh? Take care.
Thanks, dude. You too.
Yeah, bye-bye.